Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Camo's Mirror, the podcast where we take a deep look into ourselves and the world around us. I'm your host Camo, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. Now before we dive into our topic, I want to remind you that this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. While we aim to inspire and inform, always consult a certified professional for personalized advice. Today, we're exploring something that many of us struggle with: saying no. The title of today's episode is The Art of Saying No, Boundaries for a Better Life. Saying no can be the most empowering word in your vocabulary, but how do you use it without feeling guilty? To help us unpack this, we have a very special guest with us, someone who's an expert in personal development and boundary setting, Solomon. Welcome to the show, Solomon.
Thanks for having me, Camo. I'm excited to dive into this topic. It's one that resonates with so many people, yet it's often overlooked in our quest for a better life. The power of no is something that can truly change the trajectory of our lives if we learn how to wield it effectively.
Absolutely. Let's start with the basics. Why is it so hard for people to say no, even when they know it's the right thing to do?
Saying no is difficult for a multitude of reasons, but at its core it may, and I should stress, it may be our deep-seated need for approval and belonging. From a young age, we're conditioned to be agreeable and accommodating, traits that are socially rewarded. Over time, this conditioning leads us to equate saying yes with being good, kind, and cooperative, while saying no is seen as negative or selfish. But this mindset can be incredibly damaging. When we constantly say yes out of fear of rejection, fear of disappointing others, or fear of being judged, we're not living authentically. We end up betraying our own needs and values to meet the expectations of others. This can create a cycle of resentment and exhaustion, as we're constantly giving more than we have to offer. Moreover, there's the fear of missing out, FOMO, which is particularly prevalent in our digital age. We see others doing so much and feel compelled to keep up, even when it doesn't serve us. This fear drives us to overcommit, often at the expense of our own well-being.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like you're constantly sacrificing your own needs for the sake of others. Could you give us an example of a situation where someone might need to say no to protect their well-being?
Certainly. Let's consider the scenario of someone who is highly regarded at work for their efficiency and reliability. Because of their reputation, they're often the go-to person for additional tasks, whether it's leading new projects, helping colleagues with their workload, or even taking on responsibilities that aren't technically part of their job description. At first, this person might feel flattered by the trust their colleagues and superiors place in them. They might think, if I say yes to everything, I'll advance quicker. I'll be seen as indispensable. But what happens over time is that their workload becomes unmanageable. They start working late hours, sacrificing personal time, and neglecting their health. They might even begin to feel resentful towards their colleagues for continually asking for favors, or towards themselves for not standing up for their own boundaries. In this situation, saying no is crucial. By declining additional responsibilities that aren't aligned with their role, or that stretch them too thin, they're actually protecting their long-term productivity and mental health. They're making a conscious decision to prioritize quality over quantity, ensuring that they can continue to perform at their best in the areas that truly matter. This doesn't mean they're saying no to everything. Instead, it's about being strategic, saying yes to opportunities that align with their goals and values, and no to those that don't. This kind of discernment is essential for sustainable success and personal well-being.
That's powerful, Solomon. And it really drives home the point that no isn't just a refusal, it's a commitment to what truly matters. But how can people say no without feeling guilty or like they're letting someone down?
Guilt is a common reaction when we say no, especially if we're used to being people pleasers. We worry that by saying no, we're being unkind or selfish, that we're letting others down. But this guilt is often misplaced. It's rooted in the belief that our worth is tied to how much we do for others, rather than in who we are as individuals. One of the first steps in overcoming this guilt is to reframe your thinking. Understand that saying no isn't about being mean or uncaring. It's about respecting your own limits and taking care of yourself so that you can show up fully in the areas that matter most. When you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're actually saying yes to your own well-being. In practice, this might look like being honest yet respectful in your response. Instead of over-explaining or apologizing profusely, you can simply say, "I'm not able to take this on right now," or "This doesn't fit with my current priorities." You're acknowledging the request without taking on unnecessary guilt. Another strategy is to set clear expectations from the start. If you're someone who's frequently asked for favors or additional work, it can be helpful to establish boundaries up front. For example, you might let your team know that you're available for extra projects on certain days, or that you need advance notice to consider taking on something new. This way, you're managing expectations and reducing the likelihood of having to say no in the moment. Lastly, practice self-compassion. Remember that you can't pour from an empty cup. It's okay to prioritize yourself. Doing so actually enables you to be more present and effective in the areas where you choose to engage. Over time, as you practice saying no and see the positive impact it has on your life, the guilt will start to diminish.
Those are great strategies. It's about being assertive but also respectful and considerate. Now, in terms of long-term benefits, how does consistently saying no to the right things help in building a better life?
Consistently saying no to the right things allows you to build a life that is aligned with your true values and goals. When you stop overcommitting to activities, obligations, or people that drain your energy or don't contribute to your growth, you create space for what truly matters. This might mean having more time to spend with loved ones, pursuing personal passions, or focusing on your career in a way that's sustainable. It might mean finally having the mental and emotional bandwidth to take care of your health, whether that's through exercise, proper rest, or engaging in activities that rejuvenate you. Over time, the cumulative effect of these choices is profound. You start to notice that you have more energy, more clarity, and more fulfillment. You're no longer spread thin or living in a constant state of stress. Instead, you're focused, intentional, and able to invest fully in the areas of your life that bring you the most joy and satisfaction. Moreover, when you consistently enforce your boundaries, people around you begin to respect them. They understand that your no is not a personal rejection, but a thoughtful decision based on what's best for you. This mutual respect is the foundation of healthy relationships, whether in your personal life or at work. It allows for clear communication, reduces misunderstandings, and fosters a sense of trust. In essence, by saying no to what doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to a life that is more balanced, more fulfilling, and more true to who you are.
So, it's really about long-term investment in your own happiness and well-being. Solomon, this has been such an insightful conversation. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts for our viewers?
Yes, I'd like to leave everyone with this. Remember that no is a complete sentence. It's a powerful word that, when used thoughtfully, can help you reclaim your time, energy, and peace of mind. It's about drawing a line between what's important and what's not, and giving yourself permission to prioritize your own needs without guilt. The next time you're faced with a decision, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this something that aligns with my values and my goals? Will saying yes to this enhance my life and the lives of others I care about, or will it add unnecessary stress? If the answer is no, then trust yourself enough to stand by that decision. You deserve to live a life that is in alignment with who you are and what you truly want. Saying no might feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice it becomes easier. And as you begin to see the positive changes in your life, you'll realize that saying no isn't about closing doors, it's about opening the right ones.
Wise words, Solomon. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your expertise. And thank you to all our viewers for tuning in. Remember, sometimes the best thing you can say is no. It might just be the key to unlocking a better life. If you enjoyed today's discussion, please subscribe, like, share this episode with others. In addition, let us know your thoughts. Until next time, keep reflecting, stay true to yourself, and take care.